Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you want the most. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you want more than anything else. What do you want more than anything else? What's the first thing you think of when you wake up? The last thing you think of, the last thing you see before you close your eyes at night, before you go to bed. When you honestly believe that you cannot live without something, when you honestly believe that you cannot go on without it, that's when the universe will respond to you. I want you to think of an alcoholic, a chain smoker, a drug addict. I want you to think of them. Some of them may not even have any clothes on their body. They may not have a home, shoes on their feet, but they'll find a way to get that because they believe that they have to have this thing, whether it's a drug. They believe they have to have this to function in life. They believe they have to have it just to live. And they may not have a house, they may not have a clothes, they may not have a job, but they'll find a way to get it. They always do. Whatever you believe you have to have, you will find a way to get it in life. Good or bad. It's as simple as the law of attraction. When there is no plan B, you're either going to succeed or you're going to die. When there's no back door, when there's no window to crawl out, when the only way to get out of this is when you go forward, that's the kind of commitment that greatness will respond to. That's what greatness honors. In the Revolutionary War, you got the Americans and you got the British. The Americans, they were just a bunch of colonists. They were farmers, they were merchants, they were just workers. They didn't have any formal training when it came to war. On the other hand, you have the British. At that time, they were the most powerful military force in the civilized world. These guys were professional soldiers. All they knew was the military. How were a bunch of colonists able to defeat a group of professional soldiers? I believe it came down to this. The Americans, they were born on this soil. They had never been to England. A lot of them had never been to England. Their families were here. Their whole life was here. They had no plan B. They were either going to win this war or they were going to die. That was simple. Simple as that. They had no choice. There was nowhere for them to run. But the British, on the other hand, most of them had families back in England. They had lives, homes, properties back in England. This was not their home. And ultimately, between the English and the British were the ones that had the plan B. And like a chain that breaks at its weakest link, so will you always give in to you if you have a plan B, if you have an exit. Because when things get hard, if you have somewhere to turn around to, you're going to turn around to it. Even if it's in the middle of war. It wasn't that the British didn't want it. Shoot, they sailed across the ocean. They were occupying a place that people hated them. The Americans couldn't stand the British being there. You think the British liked being there? Heck no. It wasn't the fact that they didn't want to win it. They just didn't want to win the war as bad as the English, or as bad as the American colonists needed to win the war. They just wanted to win the war. the colonists needed to win the war. There will be times in life that you will have no choice but to go forward. And those are going to be the most difficult times. But those are also the most rewarding times. Those are the most powerful times. I believe that all that you can do in this life is prepare. Prepare as best you can to be unstoppable. And to do that, you gotta get the mind ready, the body ready, and the heart ready. So you gotta tear your body down to build it back up. And when you tear your body down, you make your mind strong. And you gotta tear your mind down just to make your heart strong. And then you gotta tear your heart down to become unstoppable. You gotta tear your heart to pieces to make your soul strong.